Very good evening to Brother Joe, brother and sister around the globe. My name is Riyani from Sri Petaling, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm so very grateful to be given this opportunity to share Dharma Master Zhi Zhe, episode 22. Okay. Sorry. Wait, I cannot. Okay. The first scene for Prince Yang Guang. In this scene, Prince Yang Guang is seek refuge from Master Zhi Zhe. Master Zhi Zhe taught him about the importance to uphold the precept. What is upholding precepts? Actually, upholding precept is to develop the mind and character to make progress on the path to enlightenment. So upholding precept is very important. Like today, 志工早会, 金师师父 also mentioned about the importance of upholding precept. Actually, upholding precept is very, very important. It's more important than our life. If we don't uphold precept, we are very easy to stray off the path. It's like a train. Train need a track, the railway track. If the train without a railway track, it is very dangerous. It is very easy to off the path. So upholding precept is the very basic important as a Buddhist practitioner. To Tzu Chi volunteers need to adhere precepts because, like I said just now, precept is to guard oneself from evil. Because we don't know, there's no guarantee that in our next life we can born as a human. But by upholding precept, at least we will know our next life we can born as human. Only by upholding precepts, our mind can be in a samadhi state, in a calm state. If our mind in the calm state and samadhi state, we can promote kindness and create more blessings. Then after that, our wisdom can grow. Because if we are linked to Tzu Chi mission, let's say like a charity mission, if we are, when we see suffering with our own eyes, then we will know how grateful we are. Automatically, our wisdom life can grow. Then Prince of Jin asked Master Zhi Zhe, precept is the basic in the tree study. If one doesn't follow precepts completely, can one attain samadhi and wisdom? So Master Zhi Zhe answered, following the precepts can reflect your determination to get away from suffering and your faith in the Buddha teaching. If you cannot, then the mind is imperfect. So you see, precept is very important. Then Master Zhi Zhe want to test him. He asked, may I ask you, if you have one mind upholding precepts and a different one practicing samadhi and wisdom? It means Master Zhi Zhe asked Prince of Jin, do you have two minds to practice? One to upholding the precept and another one is practicing samadhi and wisdom. At this point, Prince of Jin already understood. Then he replied, whether precepts, samadhi or wisdom, I follow them with one mind. I understand now. Everything arises from the same mind. So we only have one mind. We don't have two minds or three minds. So we can see, is it the same mind? We only have one mind. Because of the external conditions, sometimes we are so difficult to get rid of our habitual tendency, easily get angry. When dealing with others, we are a lot of negativity, then temper, we are slack, enjoying, don't want to cultivate. But if our mind in the Samadhi state and we upholding precepts, in the same mind, we can be in harmony with others. We can cultivate, diligently walk this Bodhisattva path, giving forbearance, observe for vegetarian, and also can promote vegetarian to others. So all is come from one mind. Good and evil in the world all arise from the mind. So we must really take care of our mind. Master, actually Master Zhi Zhe name is Master Zhi before Prince of Jin gave him Dharma Master Zhi Zhe. So Master Zhi already knew that Prince of Jin already understood the importance of upholding precept. So Master Zhi give Prince of Jin Dharma name Zhong Ci. I don't know whether it's correct or no, and hope he can uphold the precepts, be loving parents of the public, and support Buddhism in China. And in return, Prince of Jin present Master Zhi the title of Great Dharma Master Zhi Zhe. Then Prince of Jin asked his teacher, "May I have some advice on how to manage the country?" Then Master Zhi Zhe answered, "Work for benefit of people and there will be a peace." Okay, Buddha teachings in 49 years of teaching, it's accordance to people intellectual ability. Because Buddha knows sentient beings have a different level of capability. And Buddha saw 84,000 cultivation methods. And Buddha did all this in 5 periods and classified it in 8 methods. Actually, all the Buddha teachings from 5 periods share the same principle. Actually, is to lifting people from suffering. But at the time when Master Zhi Zhe, the time of Master Zhi Zhe, there's a lot of different school of Buddhism. They are fighting over which is the best. Actually, by fighting over which is the best, already deviate from the true purpose. Because all the Buddha teaching is the same, is lifting people suffering. If we see the 5 period of Buddha teaching, the first one is Avatamsaka, Huayan period, lasts only 21 days. This is the time when Buddha gained enlightenment in the Deer Park. Then Buddha expound the teaching, but Buddha realized only the Bodhisattva with a superior ability and wisdom can understood the profound teaching of the state of attainment and the enlightenment. After that, Buddha teach Agama period, 12 years time. This is the basic of Buddha teaching. Buddha teach about the karmic law of cause and effect, the 4 noble truths, 12-year cyclic existence. And the third period is Vaipulya period. It lasts for 8 years. In this period, Buddha want to teach the disciple to turn from small to greater vehicle. One of Buddha most profound in wisdom, the disciple is Sariputra. Initially, Sariputra is quite hesitant to teach Buddha teaching to sentient beings because he thought sentient being is very stubborn and very difficult to get rid of their habitual tendency. So Sariputra just think to just enlighten himself first. But gradually, like in today, Wisdom at Dawn, recorded Wisdom at Dawn this morning, Master did mention about Sariputra. Sariputra, after already knew, actually the Buddha teaching is not only benefit himself, but to benefit others. He vowed to come back again to the Saha world to teach this wonderful sutra. So we also must emulate Sariputra. We don't only benefit ourselves, but we need to benefit others also. So turn from small to greater vehicle. And the fourth is the Prasna Sutra. It lasts for 22 years. This about emptiness, wondrous existence. And the last is Lotus Sutra, 7 years, it's a Bodhisattva path. Actually, this is a true Dharma, Buddha true intent, the perfect teaching merging the above into one original intent. It's total 49 years. During Dharma Master Zhi Zhe's stay, he has brought about much peace. It is more effective than any policy that he had ever made. That's why the prince reluctant to let Master Zhi Zhe go. But Master reminded of the agreement that he's made and he cannot break it. In episode 21, Dharma Master already set 4 conditions to preach. First, he shall not teach profound meditation to Prince of Jinn. Second, he shall not follow worldly ritual, ceremony, and etiquette. Third, he shall come and go at his free will. Fourth, Prince of Jinn shall not persuade him to stay. Wait, something wrong. Okay, the next thing we can see, Master Zhi Zhe on the way back to his hometown, paying respect to his master Hui Si in Mount Heng. In his master tomb, Master Zhi Zhe remember what his master told him. Do not treat Buddha Dharma as a gift. Do not be the last bearer of Buddha Dharma. So it's same in Tzu Chi. Because of the Grandmaster, 6 words to master, 为佛教, 为众生, for Buddhism, for sentient beings, Master established Tzu Chi 54 years ago. And Master really took this word closely to her heart. We, as when we go commissioning, Master also give us 4 words for Xing Si Zhi. Buddha's heart as our heart. Master mission as our mission. It's not Master mission is Master mission. My mission is my mission. No, Master mission as our mission. As you can see, we have a 4 big mission. The first one, charity, medicine, education, humanistic culture. Actually, this PPT I took from Brother Joe last 3 weeks sharing because I see this PPT is very good. So, Brother Joe, thank you. So actually, the charity, we are not only to give food or relief to the care recipient, but charity is to care, connecting, and give hope to the care recipients. The medicine, our mission of medicine is not only to build a good hospital with a great doctor, but is to heal the sickness, to heal the heart of the patient and the family members, caring and connecting to others. Education is not only to build a good school, a grand school like now in KL, international school in KL, was so grand. But it's beyond that. Education is to passing down our knowledge by wanting others to know the right way to differentiate between the good and the bad. And the fourth, humanistic culture. We are not built by ITV just to produce a great Dharma series or Thai drama based on the Tzu Chi Volunteers true story, but it is to share our experience and knowledge, teaching others to teach others. I would like to share my own experience about this Tzu Chi mission. I handle one Afghanistan refugee. She is an orphanage. Actually, when the time when I handle this case, my job is to only to fetch this girl from her housemate house to the women's shelter home. That's it. Just become a driver only. But along the journey, I really gained a lot of things. At that day, when the times I fetch her, I saw her 2 of the housemates already waiting for me downstairs. One of the housemates keep crying. she is so sad and very reluctant to let this girl stay at the shelter home. But because this girl already, UNHCR already stopped, gave her money, so she don't have money to pay the rental and everything. So the housemate is also must let her stay at the women's shelter home. Because I saw the housemate is so sad, so I comfort her. I said, let's make it to Tamana after he settled down. So I also need to keep my promise. So in the 3 weeks times, we did visit Tamana. This girl is called Tamana in this shelter home. To our surprise, we thought we send her to this shelter home. She will have a vocational training and English tuition. But to our horror, he was abused by one of the residents and bullied by the caretaker of the house. That time, I feel so bad and feel so guilty. Immediately, I contact our task force team to report these matters, and we discussed the best way to remove her, move her out from the shelter home. Then what touched me the most is the housemate told me, Miss Riyani, we are very willing to accept Tamana back. Even though we are also a refugee, we also have struggling to make a living, but we are very, very willing to accept her back. You see, they are also a fellow refugee, they also don't have much resources, but they have a heart of gold to help this girl. It really inspired me. Then, okay, sorry, I'm too emotional. Then in 3 days' time, these girls returned back to the housemate house. So then, to my surprise, when I sent her back to the housemate house, the housemate treat me with a nice cookie. Actually, the cookie is just a simple cookie, but they decorate it very nicely and they present it very nice. I feel so honored. Then one more thing that touched me. One of the housemate actually is helped me to translate when we in the shelter home in the journey on the way from the house to the shelter home. Actually, I did share a lot of Tzu Chi mission, what is Tzu Chi, and our master. Then this neighbor, this housemate told me, he said, Miss Riyani, you are so good. You are from different race, different religion, and yet you are so willing to help me. So I told the translator, I said, actually what I'm doing is nothing. You're also doing good deeds. You see, you also sacrifice your time, accompany me to offer your interpreter service. You are also doing good deeds, you know. Then you know what she told me, is that from the very first day I met you, you already inspire me. I also want to help people. I also not only to Tamana but to others, refugees who are less fortunate than me. See, actually I'm not a giver, you know. I think I benefit more than them because I learn a lot of things. And on the day when I send this Tamana back to the housemate house, my eldest girl is follow me because she helped me to take a photo. When we back home, my eldest daughter also told me the same things. My daughter told me, Mommy, actually you are also a very good person. You already inspire me. I'm very proud of you. At that time, I think it's the happiest moment of my life. I think it's the best achievement to become as a mother. When I heard my daughter said like that, he said, I also want to become like you. I also want to join Tzu Chi when I grow up. See, in this mission, in this charity mission, we already, aside we are taking care of the this POC, we are also connecting and give her hope and heal, caring, connecting to others. Then we, in the education part, we are also passing down our knowledge by wanting others know the right way. So we already planted these seeds to her housemate and also to my daughter. This is, I will just share my experience and knowledge. Then we already teaching others to teach others. I have trouble. Wait, That is why it is a journey of discovery, to discover love, to discover hope, to discover each other, and to discover yourself. Actually, I discover myself while I'm doing this mission. Master lately keep reminding us, 莫忘那一年，莫忘那一念，那一人. Actually, that person is you, Brother Zhou Huang. You are the one that inspire me. Without you, I don't think I can become like this. At that time, I still remember, it is early 2016. It is the first time I joined English in Pasiang. That day, you share, what is the meaning of life? It really struck me, because actually, I already keep asking, what is the meaning of my life? I still don't know. I still cannot seek the answer. But at that day, when you share the meaning of your life, you want to become a good person, to benefit others, then I think to myself, yeah, Lord, it is so simple like that. I also can do it. From that day on, I vow I want to become a master first disciple soon. I don't want master with me for so long. And I'm very fortunate. By the year end of 2017, I was commissioned by Master. I'm really, really thankful to you, Brother Joe. You are really inspiring me to walk this Bodhisattva path. This is journey. It's also known as the Bodhisattva path. I think that is my sharing for today. Kaan.
Okay, great. Thanks, Riyani. That was very touching, especially when you share about your personal stories, and I think that's our difference. I think you live your whole life. You live your life fully, while I'm only able to give talks. You've walked your life. You have colored your life, while I'm only able to put out words like they are the outlines of a life waiting to be colored in. So I think you should be very proud of yourself. And that pride doesn't just come from your daughter recognizing what you have done. You should be proud of yourself, as we all are proud of you, in terms of realizing and recognizing. And I want to say much kudos to what you have just done in the last few slides. Yes, I've said those words, but you lived it, and I think that's more important. The 4 missions, I really think, is by first helping others, which you have done, which, as Riyani has shared, that is exactly what you have done, and by helping others. And the mission of medicine, actually.
Voice lah. Okay, I cannot hear you. How?
Okay, Riyani.
Yeah, I cannot hear.
Yes. So, what the mission of medicine is really about is by doing that yourself, you are getting better. You are improving yourself. And the mission of medicine is about healing. And how do you heal? Is when you are able to help others. And I think the 4 missions are so intertwined in that you, at first you thought you're helping others, and then just as you realize that when you're helping the girl, you realize that you yourself are being helped the most. That's healing, by helping others. And then when you realize that that really helps, you teach that to other people, and then you teach others to teach others. And I think that's a very simple steps. By knowing that you could do the math, and then by showing others that how you do the math, and then you teach others to do the math, and then you teach other people to teach other people. And I think that's the Bodhisattva path, and you've shown that. So you lived it, and I only talked it, but you lived it. I think that's even more wondrous than I could ever done. I wanted to go back to the first few slides of your PPT, where you talked about the precepts and the samadhi and wisdom. I think usually when people talk about these three studies, it's always talking about you need to first uphold the precepts to be able to reach the state of samadhi. When your hearts and minds are tranquil, then nothing really gets in, then you're able to have a very clear mind so that your wisdom will show. Okay, so, but I think even the prince was asking the question. He was asking the question of, can I have samadhi and wisdom without the precepts? And I think most people would ask the same question. Why? Because upholding the precept is really hard. It's harder than you think. If just by simply in Tzu Chi Volunteers, you also have to uphold, being very kind, not just to your parents, but being kind. Don't shouting, right? You're not shouting. You're not supposed to be mean or angry to other people. And sometimes you have to follow the traffic rules when you know that it's only for consideration. Nobody really follow it to the letter, but that's what we do. Okay, so upholding precept is hard. So many people would actually ask, well, how would can I, it's sort of like first grade, second grade, third grade. Can I study the material from the second grade without going through the first grade? And people would say, yeah, I can skip grades. While that's all true, that's why the prince would ask that question, because upholding precept is probably the hardest thing to do. So I would like to reverse it. Okay, I would like to reverse it by saying that what if upholding precept is the goal? So instead of saying reaching wisdom is the goal, let's change it and say upholding precept is the goal. Let's figure out the ways that we can overcome our habitual tendencies. For example, if you like to nag on people, right? If you're the mother that nags on people, right? So how would you stop doing that? Or how would you be kind when somebody says something that's not so pleasant? How would you be kind? So when you flip it and you say, how do I uphold the precept? When you really put your mind to it, when you begin to think about how I can do this, that's when samadhi and wisdom shows up. So that's the tremendous thing, is that no, you don't go from precept only. Like you have to have precept and then you get to samadhi and then wisdom. No, it's because samadhi is about a state of focus. It's about a state of knowing and willing to do something. And when the willingness is so strong that I want to be better, that I want to become master's disciple, you focus on that. Your mind is focused. It's no longer distracted by other things. You now know what your life you want to do. Then you would find the wisdom to make it happen. You will begin to realize, let me squeeze in the time between I have to go do my work and then the time I have to go get my kids. Let me squeeze in the time to do a little bit contemplation. You begin to figure out how to go around your hectic schedule to make things happen. You begin to realize when somebody says something unpleasant, if your goal is to be following the precepts, then you begin to develop the wisdom to work around your habitual tendencies to calm down, to when they say, okay, take a deep breath. Okay, what do I do? These are all things that are developed because you want to uphold the precept, but you haven't gotten there yet. These are merely steps, and they are wisdom. So when people tell you you need to go through 1, 2 to 3, sometimes you flip it around and say, okay, now let's suppose that precept is my goal. How do I get there? If you want it bad enough, if you really, really drive for it, you're going to find a way to do it. Like what you have done, Riyani. Like, you know that you were looking for the meaning of life. Then you realize the meaning of life is in the service of others. You realize that's what you want to do, to help others. Then you flip it around, right? Instead of having the meaning of life first, you flip it around and say, okay, I'm going to do that by becoming master's disciple first. You make it your mission. Then that year and a half or that 2 years that you have gone through the patient, and then so you knew what you're doing, and all that set you on the path. So sometimes I know people would ask, can I get samadhi and wisdom without going through precept? Because I am the same way. We all are the same way, because we face difficulties in overcoming some of our difficulties. We face difficulties and challenges in overcoming our habitual tendencies. That's hard. So out of the 10 precepts, or out of the 250 precepts, or out of the 500 precepts that the monks and the nuns have, it's really hard, okay? So it's not that when you achieve that, you're starting to have samadhi and wisdom. But it's by reaching that, it's a journey. By trying to reach there, you develop samadhi, and you go like, oh, now I have finished 5 out of the 250. You become more calm. You become more tranquil, because you now know that you are no longer going to make those 5 mistakes. So every step of the way, you become more calm, just like being a vegetarian. Why is it more than anything a meal for the spirit? Because when you're not taking the lives of animals, you feel lighter. There's no burden on your shoulder that these lives are counted against you. They are taken because you want to eat them. Your load is a lot lighter because their lives are no longer on your back. There isn't something chasing after you that says, because of you. So regardless of all the fat and the nutritious fact, the reality is you feel lighter because the burden is off. That's when things are less cloudy. That's when you can get more tranquil, get more samadhi, and that's when you get more wisdom to apply to have more precepts. So that's something that I thought that I want to share with everybody, in that, yes, it is true that when you have precepts, you can reach a state of samadhi and obtain wisdom. But how do you get the first step? That's the hardest. How do you do that? Well, if you really want to get there, you know what? You are going to develop that wisdom. And there are going to be moments of clarity that's going to guide you to it. Trust me, you have to believe it. Have faith. If you really are doing the right thing in upholding the precept, you'll find a way. Just like if you really, really want to take that piano lesson, right? If you really, really want to do that for whatever reason, you're going to squeeze in the time between cooking dinner and eating dinner. You're going to find the time in between to learn that lesson. We have that willpower, but we have to set it for the right purpose. So Master showed us what is the right purpose to have, to serve others and also to uphold the precepts. Okay, so that is why that Master Zhi Zhe gave the Prince Yang Guangdi the Dharma name of Zhong Chi. It's wishing you always remember you have to uphold. But uphold isn't to tell you to uphold everything right now, because if you're able to do that right now, then you wouldn't need a teacher. You already are there. So we need somebody to guide us, and guiding us by saying, okay, do this and do that, stepwise, slowly, one step at a time. And that's where 4 missions comes in. First, help others. And then by helping others, you are healing yourself. That's the path. Helping others. At first, you think you're helping them. Then you realize you're healing yourself. When you realize by helping others, you are healing yourself, you share that with others. Hey, you are hurt? Let me share with you how you can heal yourself by helping others. That's the mission of education. You're telling them how to heal themselves. And then by doing that, you are not you no longer just heal yourself, you're healing them too. That's the mission of medicine. And then, not only doing that, you realize that there are so many more people that are sick and ill. They all need to heal themselves. And by you doing this alone isn't enough. It's just like in a huge house that's burning. It's not enough by one Buddha to share and tell everybody to get out of the house. The house is so big. Right now, there's 7 billion people. One person's voice isn't enough. You need tens and thousands and millions of people. Then you begin to teach them, just like Master's doing to us. Teach us so we can teach others. So that's the mission of humanistic culture. No longer are you just teaching me. You are teaching me to teach others. And then I can teach others to teach others. So that's the mission of humanistic culture. So that 4 missions are all linked together. And when you are no longer doing this for yourself, you're helping others. And no longer just helping them, you're helping them to help more people, helping them to help them to help them to help more. That's the Bodhisattva path. And that's the beauty of it. So by sharing more stories, that's exactly what you're doing. So thank you, Riyani, for your sharing. And thank you. And I hope that you can share more, because every time you share, you're helping more people to heal. And then you're helping yourself heal. And then you're helping others to teach to more people by sharing your stories. Thank you. And always remember, sometimes we're not there yet. We're not upholding 100% of the precepts, but put that as our goal. And we're going to develop the wisdom to get there. And even if we are not there yet, I think with the collective group support, with everybody, with the Dharma teaching, I think we're going to break through one at a time to get to where we're going to get to. Okay? So thank you for your sharing. That's been really wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so if there's anyone else that would like to share, you're very much welcome to share. Because I realized that we have 50 people, 51 people online for this very wonderful sharing by Sister Riyani. I think if you feel something that you would like to share, that would be very wonderful. I see many people typing. So
yeah, everyone, any questions, Brother Joe? Indeed, today is a very special day, and we have record-breaking 51 person. For those who hear Zhigong Zhaohui at 7 o'clock, we heard about Sifu sharing also coincidentally on precepts of Brother Joe.
Yeah, actually, Master recently just spoke of the importance of precepts. Recently, Master was once again talking about the epidemic, the pandemic, and was talking about how little she felt that she can do. And it is true, in the past, when there is a form and a very specific disaster, for example, there's flood, there's fire, you always know that there is some rebuilding effort. Like, that you can put your hands on it. Oh, if you need something, these people need help, let's give them something, right? And these people lost their homes, let's build them houses. These people lost their schools, let's build them schools. So it's all very concrete. Even if some people are not willing to do something, you could always drive enough people to make something happen. But this is different, right? The epidemic is very different. It's not about doing something. It's about how your spirituality or how your mentality is holding up against all this stress. And what she's seeing is that we are not holding up well. We are, relinquishing our studies. We're not being diligent. We are, slowing down, and we are, most of all, not being vegetarian. We're still not awakened yet. Okay, so she was a little bit resigned to all of this, and so there were many times that she would talk about that. She felt that it's really difficult at this time to tell us what to do anymore because she's already told us everything that we need to do, except we're not doing them. And so she was talking about precepts because she said, well, at this moment, I feel very lonely. I feel that just like 60 years ago when Master took refuge under Grandmaster, that she was alone. And I was thinking that perhaps that's how the Buddha felt. The Buddha stared into the sky and saw the star. He was alone. And who else would be able to understand how he was feeling? So Master must be feeling, she said every day she just walks around and many people follow her, but do they all know what she's thinking about? And do they all know what she wants? So it's saddening and depressing. We're trying to, let's show Master that, we're following you, but she still feel very resigned. And the day she was talking about that, well, perhaps this is what the Buddha was trying to do was, at the end, all the things that the Buddha said was 以戒为师, that using precept as our teacher. And perhaps that's what we need to do too. So she talks about how in the entire world where Tzu Chi is, there's one thing that always share the same is our uniform. And the way that we wear them with pride, we wear them with dignity, we wear them with respect. And that's the precept. You follow the code, the code, not just the dress code, but you follow the code of conduct. And that's the precepts. That's a very basic precepts. And so I think Master talked about that, which is a very strong reminder to us that in the future, where there's one day without Master, where will we look for teacher? And that's what I meant by putting that as our goal. That is our goal. It's not that you need precepts to derive samadhi and wisdom. It's that if you put the precept as the very most important, as the very first thing, just like 戒定慧, that's the first thing, right? You put that as the foremost goal in your life, then you will have the necessary ding and hui to get there. So it's not necessarily the first step, but that's the most important. So that's why you put it first. So that's the most valuable. And it doesn't mean that you have to get it first. It just means that that's the most important. And we're not there yet. But if that's the most important, like, survival, as important as survival, then you're always going to find a way to get there. So I think precept is something that I think is Master is definitely telling us to be able to uphold. In the future days, I think Master felt he's already spoken all the words that she can say. And what else is left to say? It's still very difficult. So she just felt that there's just a way, she's been saying the same messages for all this time. Yet, it's just about as simple as about being vegetarian. Why aren't people still doing it? And so she was telling us, always looking out to change people to be vegetarian. What about yourself? And if you have become a vegetarian already, what about your family? What about your friend? Is everybody vegetarian? If not yet, then you haven't done your work. That's the type of message that she's sending out. Stop looking out to the people that you don't know, right? Start looking to people that you know, right? Your relatives, your husband, your wives, your children, your parents, your cousins, your in-laws, your everybody that's related to you, your co-worker, your friends, anyone that's on your list, on your contact list. Are they vegetarian yet? And are you trying to put that as the goal? Because when you do that, then you're going to have the wisdom and the samadhi to reach there, just like precept. So perhaps that's what we need to do. When everybody does that as the most important thing in their life, so much so just like their survival is depending on it, then maybe we will have a chance. Maybe Master will feel that it's so bullhuato. Okay, thanks. That's my sharing to add to a little flavor to the end. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. Every time Master talks, you know, it's so heavy nowadays, very heavy, and we do everything we trying to cheer her up and to show her that we are all here to support. We're all here following. We haven't wavered, but it's never enough because she's looking at the world and more countries are falling to the victims of this pandemic, and it's not getting better. So she's saying she doesn't know how long. It's very heavy here, and at the same time we have to be worried about all the volunteers coming here. Are you following your steps? You know, to make sure you're clean. You know, are you you know, is there any travel histories? And you know, sometimes people sneak back because they want to come home, and then we have to stop them. Then stop. You know, do you know how easy it is that if there's one case here at the abode, it's so easy to spread because we live so closely with all the sangha, and it's so easy. You know, like last time. That's why last year there was a flu pandemic here, right? And that's why we canceled our Da Jin Jin last September, because it's so easy for this tight group who live together to spread. And you know, it's like if you carry home, then you maybe have 5 people that gets it very quickly. Well, we have 200 people living here, and it's very easy to spread very quickly. So anyway, there's many things to worry about. And then Master still worries about, are you being diligent, or are you just stopping because there's no more activities? You know, I heard that Malaysia is all activities stopped in terms of, you know, the curfews, you know, and I think Philippines and all these countries, they have all installed these restrictions. You know, we haven't done that. We're not there. We're not there yet in Taiwan. But you need to show Master or pray or somehow she would know that we're not stopped. We're still being very diligent. We're doing everything we can to spread the idea and tell people to be vegetarian. That's the cure right now. Okay, that's it.
I have a question, Brother Joe.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Brother Joe, Stephanie here. I do have a question. If I may take some of your time.
Please.
Okay. Yeah. We have been doing our homework every day from home. You know. Wait, let me collect my mind a bit. Now, I believe that when this COVID has come to actually give us a great lesson, and among the few of us, we also have discussed that this is actually an opportune time to turn the great Dharma wheel, you know, among all our Pusa, and maybe not to the outsiders or to the Tata, you know, but to our internal volunteers who are in a GNC or Peishin. It is a time to really turn the great Dharma wheel. And my master has been saying the 2 things, and we have been really trying to do that, promoting vegetarianism and doing the prayer. And everybody, we would like to assure her that we have been doing that daily, you know. But there is one thing that is on my mind, which is what Master has also mentioned, and the Shifus has also mentioned. It's about doing great repentance. Great repentance, I think, is also very timely, because we are all in this because of our collective karma. And the one great Dharma is that all sentient beings are equal, yet there's so much killing that's done, you know, just because of our desires. Therefore, COVID is also here to tell us that we must repent to all these beings that are slaughtered, you know. So how do we, as we are now today, we can't get together to do great repentance. You know, we can't, just like what you said just now, we can't build the houses for people who have lost their home. We can't give them materials if they for the victims. But here we are also victims, so to speak. But we are also bodhisattvas who are turning the great Dharma wheel. So what can we do in terms of great repentance, you know, at this particular moment?
Okay,
That's my
great.
question.
Yeah, great, Sister Stephanie. I thank you for your question. You know, what you can do locally, I think you have a better idea about what you can do than I do. But I want to bring out to the stories of, this is what I recently was really thinking. So back in Lotus Sutra, I think it was chapter 15, chapter 15? 15. 15 was when the emergence of the Bodhisattva. Okay, so that's the 从地涌出, the emerge from the ground. Recently, actually, these past couple of weeks, I've been sharing these stories as Master was giving us the talks. And I linked the stories together, and essentially Master was recounting the story. So I went back to the story to read some more, and I really feel that that's exactly what the story was talking about. So in chapter 15, it was talking about when the disciples here at the Saha world, they are beginning to say, "Oh, I vow to go to the other world," and then there are the bodhisattvas of the other worlds. They are volunteering to come to the Saha world to pass on the Dharma, and Buddha said, "No, we don't need you here because we have people here," right? So that was the story, and I think that that's exactly what's happening right now, because there isn't a great force coming to you to tell you, to help you do what you need to do. No, it's you. You there had to do what you need to be doing there, because there isn't anyone else coming to help you, because you can't, right? This is not a building project. This is not something, and in fact, all the border has been shut. So this is no longer something where, the bodhisattvas from the other world can come to you and say, "Let me help you." No, it's not. What is this? This is actually about you having to make the vows to do the work there. Do the ways that you think need to be done there. So it's no longer just Master telling you, we need to do this and this and this. No, that's why it's so hard. It's almost like I've raised you to an adult now. You've got to make your decision. I can't make decisions for you always. You got to figure out what to do now. And I think it's very painful, because for her, she still wants to guide you. But even something like this is out of her reach, because you have got to use what you have accumulated all these years that she's been guiding you, and make that so that it's okay there. Okay, so I don't know if that makes sense. It's time to take what we learn from her, from Master, and then show that this is what we do here. It's not that you're not coming. It's that one day we have to stand up. And that's how the Dharma lineage is going to grow. It's not just going to come from the source all the time, but we have to make it count. And like you said, this is a great opportunity to do this, because, it's not just another disaster where she can always tell you, "Did you remember to do this? Did you remember to do this?" But now it's different. She's already told you everything. You just need to follow. But we haven't. We haven't do it by the word. Did we try our best? Probably not. Maybe Malaysia have done more than Taiwan. But still, there's still more to be done. Okay, there's always more to be done. And then, like I said, put that as our goal. Then you're going to have the wisdom. And perhaps this is the perfect opportunity for us to really walk this path and guide ourselves. And trust me, it's not like we're dropping Master. No, it's not. Because everything, it's just going back to the lineage, going back to the basic. That's why she felt it's so difficult, right? It's like before, like when you're teaching your children how to ride a bicycle. I remember it was the very first time I got on the bike. It's not we didn't have enough money to buy a small one with the training wheels. No, I used the adult one. And so my mom sit in the back seat with her legs, was able to, touch the ground. So I was, riding and trying to control. So she was able to help me. So it makes it harder, I know, but she felt that she was helping. But when eventually, she get off, I have to ride the bike on my own. She could look at me fall, but the only thing she could do is shout, "Stop, careful, you're going too fast." But at the end of the day, I'm the one that's riding now. It's out of her hands. She can't help you by building more schools. This is all you now, right? She can be standing on the pedestal to tell everybody, be vegetarian, but, right? She can do everything she can already. And she's reached out to all the people that she can already. What else is there to do? Not much. Everything else is left for us. So that's why she felt less power. She felt powerless to do this. It's us, and we're losing this war. That's why she's getting more apprehensive, because we're losing. And that's not how she taught us to be, right? You know, when she's leading, we're all, yeah, and now we're on our own. It's like, oh, how do I do this? Yeah, so I can imagine that's how it is. That's how I feel. I think it's really a little bit difficult, you know, like it used to be high school where mom and dad right next to us, and then you go off to college, you're on your own, and the parents are looking at you far away, out of reach, and you're on your own, right? So sometimes the parents feel powerless, sometimes the children feel powerless too. So how do we have that? No, I see somebody, you know, I think Zhi Zhe said that, yes, we need to do more, and I think we need to definitely do it together. Okay, so yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Really good reminder. Oh,
Thank you very much, Brother Joe.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
Great repentance in order.
repentance. Actually, yeah.
Great repentance is about borderless. Yes.
Yeah, definitely we can do more. But at the maybe just share what I know some of the volunteers are doing. Like 5 to 20, many of us miss the morning Xun Fa Xiang. We used to go to the center. Now that we can't, but we still joining in, logging in the morning. We have groups of sisters. Some even before this they couldn't make it. Now they could join us at Xun Fa Xiang. We also have our online Dharma group sharing. So this one is also, others also can replicate this. You can, this is the conditions are different. Maybe those in the past, maybe they said they can't go to the center due to whatever reason. Now they can go online and watch it. We encourage each other. That is on Xun Fa Xiang. On vegetarian, each of us, those who knows how to cook, they can be also sharing cooking recipe. Now that we are locked down, we can start cooking. I have friends who, non-Tzu Chi friends, they used to say, yeah, Tzu Chi okay with her vegetarian talk. Initially, but we have to insist after time, because conditions now is different. It has ripened. People are more receptive to it, even though they used to say in such a way. But I notice every time I post vegetarian cooking, slowly their cooking also starts to turn vegetarian. So in a way, it's like very skillful. Means we can, like Brother Joe said, it's not okay. If of course we are the great seat, we can talk and go to talk to public. But let's start with our own circle, smaller circle, our own family members, our own friends. If they know we are sincere, definitely they know, because they are our friends for so long. They understand our character. They will slowly, maybe not all, maybe one, slowly they will embrace it. I also started seeing those, like even our Gaian food, because some of them I still keep in touch, even though they are no longer the care recipient. Even the refugees, I still send them Jingxi daily. And now that we have this epidemic, we encourage them to go vegetarian. Some of them, they feedback, they said, yes, we will try. Some of my friends also told me that she started to look in like side vegetarian. That's even 1 or 2 is all, but we all can do it. We just have to have faith and sincerity. 大家一起加油，真的是好，感恩。And this is a very good online session. Those are today very good. Break record 50 over. We know that many of you from different Tzu Chi. If your Tzu Chi wish to do online, we can learn from each other. We can share with you how it is done, because our Tzu Chi also started to do online Dharma study, because everyone is staying at home, reading a lot of very troubling messages. So this is the time we can use whatever platform and share the master's teaching. Okay, 感恩。还有 today time over a bit, sorry, but we are all very so excited for Brother Joe's session. Sorry for the last minute change in the ID we have due to certain reason. Okay, if no other things, can we? Okay, everyone stay back. We need to take one photo, one happy family photo, just the picture. Can everyone on the audio? Can? 大家一起来 on the audio, please. It's a request from my payee组. They wish for all of us to inspire each other, because you see today 55 people are logging in. We are very grateful to everyone for listening. We wish that everyone, all the Tzu Chi community, whatever missions you are, everyone is in. You can do also, because this is everyone is sitting at home. So Lily, those whoever has, I'm sure if can we see all the pictures? Yes. Sister Lily, can you give a cue whether it's okay? And Sister Lily, as usual, our very great Inkong sister, take the photo.
Okay, there are actually 3 pages. So
3 pages.
Yeah.
yeah, hang on. 一个一个来啊。
Okay, everyone, this one may reach
Okay,
some
first page. Okay, okay, ready ah?
Sister Suling, 不用客气的 home dress also can.
Okay, I go for second page.
哪一个 page 啊，Sister Lily?
Second page. Second page not maybe turn on the video ah.
We'll try to, because maybe some they don't have the audio.
Okay, then I just take which whatever that is there ah.
Like Affinity has written.
Okay, hold on ah.
Tomorrow we have session. Come join us tomorrow, 7 to. Very good. We have
Okay,
sister, brother, Pauline teachers and sister sharing on COP 25. The next Saturday we also have very good sister Yachi sharing on South. And also next Friday we also have similar session by Sister YY. She will share the next episode. Sister Riyani, are you on? Oh yeah, correct. Sister Riyani very overwhelmed today.
Okay, done.
Done now? 好，感恩大家。好，any last question? You also got. Okay.
Sister Lily. Sister
Okay.
Lily.
Very, very wonderfully. Wonderful,
Sister
wonderful.
Lily, you off my video. I cannot on my video. Sister Lily.
Yes.
I can't on my video. No.
Never mind. Later we will end the session. It will naturally emptiness. Okay,感恩 Brother Joe, 感恩 Sister Riyani for lots of both.
Brother Joe.
For lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence. I'm sure each of us we have taken in a lot of Dharma joy and a lot of awakening today from Brother Joe. Yes. Let us please make 3 vows to the Buddha and the Master as we depart to apply these teachings in our daily life. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. Together. First, second vow. Third vow.